I'm the logo. I'm the reason fans come down. Oh no, you JoJo had a little run now. It's done, clown. I got the glow though. I could no-show in 3-0, bro, in a 1 round. Look.
URL Super Fight Smack's birthday. The last battle of the night has just happened. Rum Nitty versus Hello the Dawn has just ended. That was the event headliner, and it hasn't been a crazy battle like the previous battles. I think the first three or four battles were really amazing. They were entertaining. They had crazy energy. They had crazy conversations. They had interesting back and forth. The energies from both battlers really built those previous battles. And as you saw in the battle before, Rum Nitty versus Harlow, which was the grudge match between T-Top and Swamp, you had stumbles and chokes from Swamp. And something I forgot to mention in that recap is I saw one comment which was interesting, and the comment said you can't rap while you were angry. And I was thinking if that is what affected Swamp. But what I was saying is from that battle you could see the energy declining and the quality of the card also sort of being dented and affected because of the chokes and the stumbles from Swamp. And he was choppy in his first and choked in his second, and that affected the battle and how it went. But you still had people giving him the win. And now you have Ram versus Harlow, the main event, which has not been a high level battle. Just in terms of the overall feel of the battle, it has not been as intense or as entertaining or as interesting as the previous battles. You have Holo starting the first round and talking about Rum Nitty's style and how he is one-dimensional, doing one thing, just punching, punch, 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 punch. He said that as he intertwined it with him doing several things within the first round, rapping with multiple flows, switching his pace, slowing down, going faster, and letting things breathe. And he started with a crazy scheme that I enjoyed, just to show Ram that he is able to do everything while Ram cannot do all of these things besides punching. So from using gun bars to being conscious to rapping and delivering at a higher rate. So he was doing multiple things in the round. You have Ram coming in the first round talking about loyalty and sort of counter-writing, because that came up during the face-off, and Harlow was challenging Rum Nitty's loyalty, and so Ram had to start with that. He has addressed that from the onset, and which was Harlow's second round, talking about LOM and loyalty and setting up and bringing up the West. I think that was the second round, talking about the West and putting Rum Nitty on and whatnot. Could be the third or the second. But he talked about loyalty in his second round, and then Ram turned up in his second round. He was more energetic, he was more animated, he had more punches and landed more haymakers in his second than his first. Third round, you have Harlow getting into his conscious bag, calls himself the energy god, and so he gets into that element, talks about consciousness and talks about the Crips and that community and how Harlow does not want to grow and how he should be taking care of his family and improving and building the community. And he landed a haymaker about that and used Nipsey and Kobe in an intricate scheme that landed very well. Weirdly, he cut his round short and he murmured and said, it's so dry up in here. That's how he ended his round, very short, and he cut it in the middle. Ram elevating from where his second round left off, and he flies and punches crazily and at a high level, which is something Ram does all the time. He punches, and every opponent facing Ram knows that that is what he will do, and that is what he has done in the third round at a high level. And as I've said, Halo's round was shorter, but also Ram had crazier moments in his final round and punched Halo's head off. And on first watch, I'm calling it Ram 2-1. I think I was impressed more by Halo's approach in the first round, and I think the last two rounds Ram leveled up and punched more, which is his forte. Punching is his forte, and he did that extremely well in the second and the third. But also, I think someone would argue a possible 3-0 on Ram's side. One thing I also have to mention, I think the crowd was tuned into Ram more than Halo, which is expected. Halo has been away for a few years and he's not been on caffeine before, and you have newer fans watching it, and then you have newer fans also being in the building, and the response to Halo's material was quite low as compared to Ram's response, and you could even see his side throwing up the creep signs in the air and amassing that support on his end, and also on top of the fact that he has been doing this more than Halo, and his name is currently amongst the most spoken about battle rappers in the world, so it's obvious, and he performs very well on the URL app. I have Ram 2-1 on first watch. What did you think about the battle? Whom do you have winning? Let me know in the comment section. And that has been the event. Cortez and Isamin was just about to go down. They had mentioned it'll be tomorrow, which is interesting, wondering why it was about to go down. Smack had already tossed the coin and then they had to cut him off and say that this is for tomorrow. So I'm sure it is happening as we speak, and they will show that tomorrow. But that has been the Super Fight URL Super Fight event, which was Smack's birthday celebration.
They say punching ain't enough. You need to think deep, bring heat. So him taking shots from this burner account, like KD, you said, don't even bring up the phrase drink. But in order for this cut to stay clean, somebody gonna need to stay lean, raise heat.